the glittering world of celebrity royalty, few names spark as much debate as Meghan Markle. But today, the question isn't about Hollywood glamour or royal titles. It's about motherhood itself. Could the Duchess of Sussex be walking the same path as infamous figures? Once branded mommy dearest allegations are swirling with claims that her carefully crafted narrative about being a devoted mother simply doesn't match her actions? From complaints about pantyhose to the mystery surrounding Archie and Lilibet, to whispers of a shocking refusal to fly her children back to the UK during the Queen's funeral, the contradictions pile up. In this video, we'll pull back the curtain on Meghan's motherhood narrative. We'll explore the stories the palace's alleged offer and why critics say the tale doesn't add up. Welcome to the channel where we dig deep into the stories behind the headlines. Stay tuned because what you're about to hear could completely change the way you see Meghan Markle, Archie, and Lilibet. Here's the roadmap. First, the cultural mommy dearest backdrop, then Meghan's claims, followed by the contradictions and the palace's side of the story. To understand the weight of these claims, we first need context. History has shown us a pattern. Daughters of Hollywood icons like Joan Crawford, Bette Davis, and Lana Turner once shocked the world with memoirs, portraying their glamorous mothers as deeply flawed parents. The book Mommy Dearest became shorthand for the darker side of motherhood behind the red carpet. Now some critics suggest Meghan Markle may be facing a similar narrative, one of contradictions between public image and private choices. On one hand, Meghan presents herself as a hands-on devoted mother, placing Archie and Lilibet at the heart of her identity. On the other, she has been accused of prioritizing her public brand, leaving her children behind for events such as Invictus Games or promotional appearances. The tension escalated during Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral, when Meghan reportedly described being away from her children as traumatic. Yet insiders claim the palace, through then-new King Charles, offered a private flight to bring the children, an offer allegedly refused. What do you think? Was this a mother's tough decision or a contradiction too glaring to ignore? Here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Meghan Markle has often emphasized how motherhood defines her. She's spoken of diaper bags, sleepless nights, and how being with Archie and Lilibet is her greatest joy. Yet her actions, critics argue, paint a very different picture. For example, Meghan frequently traveled overseas, including to the Invictus Games, leaving her children behind. While many parents balance work and family, critics say Meghan's narrative shifts depending on the audience, creating a web of contradictions. One striking example surfaced during Queen Elizabeth II's state funeral. Meghan described the nearly 3-week separation from her children as the most difficult time in her life. She painted herself as a mother torn apart, struggling with the absence. But palace insiders tell another story. According to reports, then Prince Charles offered to arrange a private jet to bring Archie and Lilibet back to the UK. The children could have traveled with their longtime nanny or even Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland. This would have eased Meghan's concerns and reunited the family during one of the most historic royal events of the century. And yet, that offer was allegedly refused, completely shut down. Which raises a powerful question: why, for critics, this refusal fuels suspicion. If Meghan truly found it traumatic to be apart from her children, why reject an opportunity to have them flown safely and privately to her side? The contradiction between words and actions becomes the very heart of the criticism. Adding to the tension, Harry and Meghan's public commitment to children's causes, from Harry's role with Wellchild to their charitable branding, makes the absence of their own children at such a pivotal moment all the more glaring. Supporters might argue they were protecting Archie and Lilibet from public exposure. Skeptics see it differently, another chapter in what they call Meghan's Mommy Dearest saga, where control of the narrative trumps the children's experiences. Imagine for a moment being offered a chance to reunite with your children during the world's gaze and saying no. What does that choice really reveal? Let's break down the ripple effects of this alleged refusal, because the consequences go far beyond one private flight. First, the cause and effect. Meghan publicly framed her absence from Archie and Lilibet as traumatic, evoking sympathy and reinforcing her devoted mother image. But if insiders are correct and she declined the palace's offer, then her claim unravels. The effect is a perception of selective truth, where motherhood becomes less about lived reality and more about public relations. Second, the impact on different groups. Supporters of Meghan and Harry might see the refusal as an act of protection, shielding their young children from the spotlight of royal ceremonies. But critics argue that keeping them away denied the children a once-in-a-lifetime chance to be part of history, the funeral of their great-grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. For the royal family, it underscored tensions, with Meghan reinforcing the idea that she resists collaboration even when the palace attempts compromise. For the public, it fuels skepticism toward every new claim Meghan makes. Third, the economic and brand implications. Meghan's global brand thrives on relatability, particularly her portrayal of motherhood. If contradictions emerge, that brand risks erosion. Her cooking show, her lifestyle ventures, even her philanthropic work all lean heavily on authenticity. The perception of dishonesty, no matter how small, can be devastating in a world where trust drives influence and money. Fourth, the social and political consequences. The story echoes deeper questions about privilege, responsibility, and truth-telling in modern royalty. Harry and Meghan often frame themselves as champions of mental health, family values, and authenticity. Yet, here they're accused of the very hypocrisy they denounce in others. The result: intensified public polarization. Fans grow more defensive while critics feel more justified. And here's the question that lingers: if the palace truly has the emails and documentation proving that a private flight was offered, why hasn't it been made public? Is it restraint from the royals, or proof the narrative isn't as clear-cut as either side claims? History has a way of repeating itself. When Christina Crawford released Mommy Dearest in 1978, the world reeled at the idea that a glamorous Hollywood star like Joan Crawford could be anything less than the perfect mother. Decades later, similar tell-all books about Bette Davis and Lana Turner exposed the gap between public image and private reality. Today, Meghan Markle is facing a comparable storm, though, through media commentary rather than a child's memoir. Globally, the debate around Meghan taps into a much larger cultural conversation: how women in power, especially mothers, are judged. Some see the criticism as a sexist, double-standard, mothers held to impossible expectations. Others argue it's about accountability, pointing to contradictions that can't be ignored. In the UK, where the monarchy remains a cornerstone of identity, these tensions feel especially sharp. The question becomes haunting: are Archie and Lilibet destined to grow up and write their own version of Mommy Dearest? Or is this just another chapter of a misunderstood mother battling a hostile press? So what do we make of it all? On one side, Meghan Markle insists she is a devoted mother torn apart by the pain of separation. On the other, insiders claim she refused an offer that could have brought Archie and Lilibet back to her during the Queen's funeral. The contrast is striking and, for many, deeply troubling. Here's the takeaway: authenticity matters. When public words don't align with private choices, the cracks quickly show. Meghan's critics see a Mommy Dearest figure in the making, while her supporters argue she's a mother unfairly targeted by relentless scrutiny. Wherever the truth lies, the debate isn't going away anytime soon. Now we want to hear from you. Do you think Meghan was protecting her children from the royal spotlight? Or does this refusal reveal deeper contradictions? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into the stories shaking the royal world. And stay tuned in our next video. We'll explore Prince Harry's own contradictions in his memoir Spare and the photos that seem to tell a different story. Join thousands already following for balanced royal insights.